My husband told my mother-in-law in Korean that he got my best friend pregnant, but they didn't know I was fluent. I grew up in Koreatown, Los Angeles. My neighbors were Korean. My babysitter was Korean. By age 12, I spoke it better than some native speakers. But when I married Dylan 3 years ago, I never mentioned it. His mother made comments about my American cooking in Korean during our first dinner together. I just smiled and passed the rice. Dylan worked in tech, good salary, long hours. My best friend Dana started coming over more when he worked late. She'd bring wine, we'd watch movies, normal friend stuff. Then his parents flew in from Chicago for Thanksgiving. I was washing dishes when I heard his mother ask in Korean, "When are you telling her?" Dylan replied, "After the holidays. Dana's already 12 weeks. I dropped a glass, blamed it on soap. My hands were shaking, but my face stayed blank. His mother continued, "This is messy. She seems like a nice girl." "She is," Dylan said. "That's why I need to do this carefully. I don't want her taking everything." I finished the dishes, made small talk, smiled through dessert. That night, I opened a new email account and started documenting everything. For the next 6 weeks, I was the perfect wife. I cooked Dylan's favorite meals. I invited Dana over for brunch and helped her pick out maternity clothes. I even threw her a small baby shower. Every text between them went to a folder. Every receipt I found. Every lie he told about working late when his car was parked at her apartment. I hired a private investigator named Rosa. She was thorough. Within 2 weeks, she had timestamps, photos, and hotel records going back 8 months. Dana started slipping. "The father wants to be involved," she told me one afternoon, rubbing her belly. "He's just figuring out his situation first." "That's sweet," I said. "He sounds like a good guy." And she looked at our wedding photo on the mantle. "Yeah, he really is." I smiled and poured her more tea. The week before Christmas, I made my move. I invited everyone to dinner at a nice Italian restaurant downtown. My parents, his parents, Dana, Dylan, told each of them different reasons. Dylan thought it was an early anniversary celebration. His parents thought it was a pregnancy announcement for us. Dana thought it was a going-away dinner before I left for a work trip. I wore the red dress Dylan bought me on our honeymoon. We ordered appetizers, made small talk. His mother kept glancing at me like she was waiting for something to happen. It did. Before the main course arrived, I pulled out a manila envelope. "I have something to share," I said calmly. Dylan's fork stopped halfway to his mouth. I slid copies across the table. DNA test results, text messages, photos of his car at Dana's apartment at 2 a.m., hotel receipts. "I've known since Thanksgiving," I said in Korean, looking directly at his mother. "When you asked him when he was telling me, when he said he needed to do it carefully so I wouldn't take everything." His mother's face went white. Dana started crying. Dylan grabbed my arm. "Vera, let me explain. My name is Maya," I said, pulling away. "You'd think, after 3 years, you'd remember." I turned to my parents. "I filed for divorce yesterday. My lawyer says given the evidence, it'll be quick." My father stood up so fast his chair scraped the floor. My mother just stared at Dylan like she was memorizing his face for future spite. Dana tried to speak. "Maya, I never meant— You told me last month the father was figuring out his situation." I looked at Dylan. Looks like his situation just got figured out for him. I stood, dropped cash on the table for my portion, and walked out. Behind me, I heard his mother say in Korean, "I told you she was too smart for this." 3 months later, the divorce was finalized. I got the apartment, my retirement fund, and 60% of joint assets. The judge wasn't impressed by cheating husbands. Last week, I ran into Dana at Target. She was alone, buying diapers, looking exhausted. Dylan wasn't with her. She said he'd moved to Austin for a new job, sees the baby once a month. She started to apologize again. I held up my hand. "I don't need it. You two deserve each other, or whatever's left of each other." I walked away with my basket full of things from my new place. Some people spend years learning Korean for dramas or K-pop. I learned it from a grandmother who lived next door and made me kimchi jjigae every Sunday. Turns out that was the best investment my childhood ever made.